Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Heart Peak Outdoors. It's just before 6 o'clock on October the 20th. I am approaching a mile back on some public land in North Mississippi, and I'm hunting for any legal buck. I've never shot a deer on public land. I did just blow one out of there 100 yards back or so, but I'm still 200 or 300 yards from where I'm going to hunt this morning. It's over some persimmons near a creek. Now this persimmon grove has a little additional benefit of being in a great oak flat that I scouted 2 years ago. I hunted it last year once and saw deer and just never got back here. So I'm going to see if the deer are doing this on public land. Everything else I've tried has failed, but I'm running out of persimmon trees that I know about on public to hunt. So this is the last stab at persimmons. I'm sure I can find more on this creek that I'm about to use as access, but I would really like, 10 or 12 spots. So I'm going to scout today, find some more stuff, and get a morning hunt in before work. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, because I'm going to. It's just now light enough to see. It's just before 7. I couldn't find a tree I liked, so I'm on the ground. I found the persimmons, and I think I'm ready to call it. The persimmons are done. It is thick in here. And I think I hear a deer moving over my right shoulder. The wind is to the east, which is blowing basically directly in my face right now. But it's switching to the south, so it's blowing directly in my face and it's switching. As the morning warms up, it was about 50 degrees this morning. I'm probably gonna hunt for another hour, and then I'm just gonna walk around. I don't even think I'll take my bow. I'll stash all my stuff up near the four-wheeler path. This place is accessible by four-wheelers, but there's a point at which no one's come back here this year, I don't think. Besides maybe the foresters. But I don't even think they've been back here. It is the jungle. It's a little after 7:30. I've been standing here thinking about this spot, and one thing I noticed walking in is I ran into patches of greenbrier that were just demolished. Like no more than a foot and a half off the ground. And in this little patch of persimmons, the browse obviously knocked back a bunch of the understory. Everywhere else is thick. except for this spot. You can see where it's just been browsed down to a foot tall. So these persimmons were dropping, they're just done. But that's encouraging. That means I need to get in here earlier next year. Which, you know, I've been hunting persimmons, but I'm a squirrel. And like I've been saying, there's acorns everywhere. Everywhere. So finding these deer is going to be very difficult. I'm still going to look though. I'm going to give this another 30 minutes. If my patience lasts that long, I'm kind of bored. It's a beautiful spot though. Absolutely gorgeous. Alright. So the persimmons are done. And I'm about to get to doing what I came here to do, which is scout. I'm going to target Oak Flats, and I'm going to be looking for fresh sign. Oak Flats, if you're looking at a map, Oak Flats are the parts where the contour lines get far apart on a ridge. Usually they'll coincide with some kind of drainage off the ridge or a saddle in a ridge. Those are all good spots. We are. Thank you. Rude. Anyway, I'm gonna tear this stuff down and last spring I had to swim across this to retrieve a trail camera. I can walk across it now, but there should be deer tracks here somewhere. Here we go. Little deer. I'm going to walk this until it becomes uncomfortable and see if I can cut a big set of tracks. That's the best idea I have right now, because I can't think of anything else. Persimmons are back on the menu, boys. So that's where these tracks were going. And they're coming from back in there. Wonder where that deer's bedding. Let's see if we can find out. Alright, I'm in a completely different habitat type. I'm up on a ridge above where that persimmon was. I just followed a trail back. And I've kept following it and kept following it. And that's the first sort of kind of fresh rub I've found. If that's even a rub. I think it is. There are acorns everywhere. This ridge dumps into a real good acorn flat. White oaks, giant white oaks that are dropping giant acorns right now. That persimmon's still dropping, so there's some good stuff going on right around here. I'm afraid the same stuff's going on everywhere. I say I'm afraid, I know that, I know it is. Okay. I've just walked up on top of the ridge and there's acorns dropping right here and it's torn up. Big old white oak. Alright, let's find the sign. I think I just found some excellent squirrel sign. Where deer spend time, they poop a lot. Like horses, or cows. If you ever watch horses or cows, they poop a lot. So if this were fresh deer sign, I would find fresh deer poop. And I'm not seeing that, but the leaves are just wrecked around this tree. There's a squirrel living large right here. Where you at, little buddy? I don't mean you no harm yet. I'm going up just a little further to check. A saddle that I saw on the map. There are a lot of historic rubs, and I think this is a rub right here that I just walked up on. I don't know. I'm sure it's a rub. It's just not very high off the ground. It's on top of a historical rub from last year. But still, it's not the kind of sign I'm looking for. Alright, reached the hilltop, headed back down. There's not much to see up here. It's a lot of pine. There's scattered oaks throughout it, but I think the deer are going to be on the lower flats. The sign's not up top. I ran out of deer trail a while back. So I think they're on the lower flats, and that's what I'm going to check next. Probably using the creek to see crossings and take trails up into the ridges. I think I've got a situation where mud is making relatively small tracks appear large. So that's not anything to get too excited about. There's a ton of turkey tracks in here too. So maybe I'll do some turkey hunting this spring. Never turkey hunted before. Probably be fun. Everybody I know that does it is completely and utterly addicted to it. So I'm just trying to cut tracks. And succeeding, but not with the right tracks. I'll know them when I see them. I'm walking the sandy creek bottom looking for tracks. Or anything that will tell me that there are deer right around here. I found deer sign. I didn't find great deer sign, but I found enough to maybe come back and hunt and see what the deer are doing on these ridges. How they're using them. and at what times. And then pick a terrain feature like what I see the deer doing and try to exploit as many of those as I can while this is what they're doing. Not saying it'll work. I am saying it's my plan. I have not yet found a place where I'm both comfortable and confident in placing a trail camera, so I haven't put this camera out yet. It's not a cell camera, so I don't necessarily want to put it on public land because it'll just get stolen eventually, but I want to get trail cameras out on public land, and that's part of the game. Luckily, it's just a $30 Walmart camera, so if it gets stolen, whatever. Hopefully I find some more good sign. If not, I hope you enjoyed the episode.